Good morning, class 8. For your online class today, English language, we are going to see chapter 11, that is non-finite verbs. Okay, it's a new chapter that we are going to begin today, new week, new chapter. Okay, and also it's the second last chapter for your half yearly examination. Okay, for a quick sneak peek, what we are going to see today is we are going to see what is finite verb, what is non-finite verb. We are going to see how many kinds of non-finite verbs are there and what are they. So that is all about that we are going to cover in this chapter. Now first of all, to begin with, non-finite verbs. So here we need to know first what is a verb. Now many of you know it, but still as a rewind or revision of your topic, your verb is an action, anything that you do, like sleeping, eating, talking, walking, so writing. So these are some of the examples of verbs. Now we have learned that verbs can be of two types. Okay, one is your finite verbs and another is your non-finite. Okay, finite and non-finite. So that is what we are going to see today. We are going to focus more on non-finite verb because that's what the chapter is about. So first we will see finite verb. There is a slight difference. Finite verb is a verb that has a subject. Subject again means it's a word that does an action in a sentence. So that is what your subject is. So finite verb has a subject. It shows tense. Okay, tense means your present, past, future tense. It shows person and number. That is what your finite verb is. Okay. Now, just the opposite. What is non-finite verb? Now, non-finite verb has no subject. Okay, does not show person or number. That is what your non-finite verb is. But again, there is they have not given that they do not show tense. Okay, that is the difference that we have between finite and non-finite verb. Then again, in non-finite verb, if you see, they are of three categories or three kinds. Okay, first one, infinitives. Okay, now infinitives, what an infinitive is, we know that the verb, okay, that has a subject and shows tense or person and number is a finite verb. Now adding to, okay, to the verb, to plus your verb, your action, is often used to form an infinitives, or you can say infinitive verb. So keep that in mind. So infinitive verbs, adding of to with your verb action makes your infinitive verbs. Okay, infinitives. Now what is the use of infinitive verbs? Now infinitives are useful when we wish to state an aim or purpose, like he called to thank me, for an example. Now here there is a purpose. He called you because he wanted to thank you. So here we have added to, which is the most important criteria of your infinitives. So we are adding to the verb thank. So to thank makes it infinitive verb. He called to thank me. Here we see he is trying to state aim or like purpose, isn't it? So that is what infinitives are useful for. Then infinitives are useful when we wish to indicate result, outcome of something, like my great grandmother lived to see me succeed. So that was the indication of a result, outcome, okay, for all the hard work. So to see, again adding to infinitive to the verb see, okay, makes it infinitives verb. Okay. So infinitives can be used as the subject of the verb in a sentence. For example, to lie is bad. So here to lie is a subject, because here how we understand it's a subject, because to lie, here we are focusing more on lying. So to lie is bad. The outcome is bad. Okay. So we can also use infinitive as a subject of the verb. Infinitive can be used as the object of the verb, like I want to dance. So to dance, I is the subject, want to do something. Now what is that? To dance. So again here to dance is used as an object. Okay, the subject want to do some action, that is to dance. Okay, so we can use it infinitive as a subject, as an object. Third, as a subject of the verb, but it also takes an object of its own. For example, to respect our parents is our duty. So here in this sentence, if you see, here it is subject, to respect our parents is our duty, and also used as an object. So it can be both at a times. Okay, it can be subject only, it can be object only, it can be both subject and object. Okay. Then fourth, you have as the object of the verb and also be modified by an adverb. For example, many of the singers prefer to sing softly. Now, softly is your quality. Yes or no? We have done already what is an adverb, adjective. Yes or no? So, many of the singers prefer to sing. Now, again, to sing is your infinitive. But how? Softly. Isn't it? There are different way of singing. So, here they are saying that many of the singers, mostly they prefer for soft singing softly. So softly is your adverb. So adjective, infinitive is used, also used as the object of the verb to modify its adverb. Okay, to bring more emphasis or highlighting your adverb. Now infinitives is also used to qualify an adjective or a noun. Quinine is bitter to taste. This is not the time to laze. Okay, that is how it qualifies also as an adjective or a noun in a sentence. Infinitives as the object of a preposition. So it is also used as a preposition. For example, the concert is about to end. So about is your preposition. We know that. So we can use as an object of a preposition. And lastly, as the complement of a verb. Complement means definitely to complement your sentence, okay, to your verb basically. So this is to ensure your safety. So is your complement of your verb, that is infinitive verb, that is to ensure. We usually use to with the infinitives. However, it is not essential. Look at these. Now, it's not necessary that we always have to use to. Where we do not use to, when an infinitive is used without to, it is called a bare infinitive. So when infinitive is without to, then to, then it becomes, what is it? Bare infinitive. Bare means nothing, naked, nude. Okay. So we use the infinitives without to, like with modals such as must. Modal auxiliaries we have done recently. So must, can, could, shall, should, will, would, may and might. So with modals we use bare infinitives without to. The child may go. These are the examples. After the verbs of perception, like see, hear, these are your perception. Perception, again, it's not an object. Okay, you cannot see it. It's just like the vision, the sound that you hear, the feeling. Okay, so those are your perception. Okay, that is your point of view, what perception is. So after verbs of perception, like see, hear, watch, know and feel, these are your perception. For after this, after verbs of perception, we use such, like I saw the clouds gather in the sky. Okay, then there are many examples. With verbs like dare and need, we use the infinitive with to affirmative for positive sentence. Like Rina dared her sister to do this reckless act. How dare you create such a ruckus? I need to find a good plumber soon. I need not finish the work yet. So for an affirmative, that is a positive sentence, we add to with dare and need of a sentence. Okay. Look at these sentences where the infinitives has been used to join two simple sentences. So infinitives can also be used to join two simple sentences. Like it is very humid, we should not exercise. It is too humid to exercise. So for joining the two sentences also we use infinitives. The adverb to is often used while joining sentences with infinitives. Then you have exercises. Then you see page 97. Now we are going to see, we have seen finite verb, what we have seen non-finite verb. We have seen non-finite verb has three kinds. Your first is your articles, infinitives, and then now we are going to see participles. Okay. Now participles, you might not find the definition here, but participle is a word formed from a verb, okay, and used as an adjective. Now you have to understand the difference between participle and gerund. Now participle is a word, gerund is also a verb, that will come to it later, but participle is a word formed from it is formed from a verb, okay, and used as an adjective. Okay, now what is an exact adjective? Adjective is like it's a naming an attribute, okay, like sweet, okay. Now apple, for an example, apple, or yeah, it's a noun. So here we add adjective sweet, so, or very sweet, okay. So sweet is your adjective here. So word formed from a verb and used as an adjective. Adjective means naming an attribute. Adjective or a noun also used to make or a noun is your participle. It is also used to make compound verb. Okay, participles are used. Like we saw a man polishing his shoes, noticing a strange animal, we moved away. The highlighted words are present participle that have been used as verbs and as adjective connected to the underlined nouns and pronouns respectively. So here there are certain examples, please go through them. Then you have now you have to keep the concept clear that the difference that we have that we see in participle and gerunds, okay. You have to keep in mind participle is a word formed from a verb used as an adjective or as a noun. There is an option, adjective, used as an adjective or a noun. Whereas in participle or wherein gerund, if you see, participle also ends, most of the participle ends with ing, okay. Most of the gerunds, it ends, they say that it basically almost all the gerund ends with ing. Here it is all, participle is most, okay. And gerund is also form, it's a form of the verb, okay. Whereas I said in participle that it is form from a verb, but here it is saying it's a form of a verb, okay. Please get the difference clear, okay. That is the difference between gerund and participle. People make mistakes over here. So participle is formed from a verb, whereas gerund is already a form of a verb, okay, and it is used as a noun or functions as a noun, okay, in a sentence. We call it gerund. So we basically gerund is used after the verb and action. You have to keep that in mind as well. So there are certain examples here, okay, where gerund is used as a subject of a sentence, where gerund is used as an object of the sentence, object of the preposition, complement of the verb, okay. So keep that in mind, go through the examples, and then if you see down there, page 100, gerunds or infinitive, there is a some more information given between them, as both gerunds and infinitives have the force of a noun. So that is the similarity between gerunds and infinitives, okay, but not between participles and gerunds. So what is the common or similarity between gerunds and infinitives is that both have the force of a noun, okay. and a verb, they have same uses. Okay, their uses are same. Thus, in many sentences, either of them may be used. So you can either use gerunds or you can use infinitives, because they both have the force of a noun and a verb. So their functioning is quite the same, but participle is completely different. Okay. So he likes singing, ends with ing, but it is a gerund. Okay. Singing, force of a verb. Second sentence, he likes to sing. As we have already added to the verb sing, so you have to clearly understand it's an infinitive, but it's again it acts as a verb in a sentence. So you see, there is a difference. You will easily make out between gerund and infinitive, because gerund basically ends with ing, and infinitive you have to add to the verb, but the force and the function is the same between gerund and infinitive. Whereas participle, it is different. Okay, here we are not comparing at all, but yeah, it looks quite similar. Gerund and participle looks quite similar because both ends with ing, but here almost all, or you can say, because they have written here when the ing form the verb, so mostly it ends, or like you can say all the gerunds end with ing. So that is why you can understand it's a gerund, and participle, most of it ends with ing. Okay, and it functioned as a, you can say, derived or function from the adjective or the noun, whereas this is a function as a noun, only noun, and it is a form of a verb, gerund. Okay, so here you have in page 101, there is a table here. Please go through that as well, and then you have plenty of exercises to work on. Okay, try doing this. I'll give you the exercise tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We'll complete the exercises, and again we'll head towards chapter 12. So that is all it's about chapter 11, verb, action. It has two types, finite and non-finite. Finite has the topic that we are not doing it has subject. Okay, shows tense, shows person and number. Whereas infinitive that we are doing in this chapter, non-finite has no subject, has no person or number, but not tense. Then non-finite have three kinds, that is infinitives, participles and gerunds. Infinitives, adding of t or to with the verb is your infinitive, and we have seen the uses of it. You can read once again. Participle, most of it ends with ing, but it is a form of a it is from a verb. Okay, and used as an adjective or a noun. Okay, whereas then there are examples again. Whereas gerund also ends with ing. It is the form of a verb. You can consider it as an action only. Okay, so it's a form of a verb, and it is the function of it function as a noun. We call it gerund, and we use mostly gerund after the verb. Okay, ing. So that is all we have seen in this chapter. There are a lot of examples. Please go through, read by yourself, and then try doing out these exercises. Any doubt, let me know, and then we'll complete with the exercises soon. Thank you and have a nice day.